Hello and welcome to the Blackout podcast where I get to talk to amazing people doing amazing things. And today I'm so excited to have Rosanna Pelton. Oh, I love your company name. We're just talking about this now. ROSAPEL.
ROSAPEL.
Thanks for coming to the podcast today.
Thank you.
So, what is ROSAPEL and what do you do there?
We're a virtual assistant company, and we provide executive virtual assistants to small businesses that work from their home, from mid-sized companies that maybe need an extra hand at a busy time, from busy executives who just need a little bit of help, managing their mailbox, email boxes, or anything like that.
When we talked, I started reading a bit about virtual assistants. I'm like, this is great, right? Like, I mean, if you can do it, anyone would want to do it. But how did you get into?
Well, I was always kind of an entrepreneur, and even as a younger child. And I ended up in the corporate world as an assistant, first a legal assistant, executive assistant, office manager. Did, 30-something years in there. And I just had enough. And friends were reaching out that had started their own businesses. Rosanna, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And I thought, where are these people getting help? At that time, this was 2016, so you couldn't attempt to go into your home office. That was just taboo. So I thought, oh, well, I'm done with the corporate world. Let's just become a virtual assistant. And back then, people didn't understand how I could work from home to help them. So I was an on-site, off-site, and virtual assistant, which meant that I went to people's homes and I did actually in-person filing, which I still do for a couple clients here and there. And or I went to locations. Habitat for Humanity was a place that I was working for a little while before they closed down, and virtual. So some people did get it.
Just this is my email, all that. But was that leap difficult to do? Like coming from pretty much security to doing all your own?
I've always been a risk taker. I've packed up my life and just moved to different places without jobs, without any. Everyone says, "You're nuts." I did that when I came here, and I'm like, no, I've got skills. I can get a job. I can do things. So, the only thing that was kind of hard was I knew how to be an assistant, but I didn't know how to be an owner of a company.
Oh.
So I kind of had to learn how to be a leader. And, and I had the help of my most amazing coach, Anne Devine. She was my very first coach.
Oh.
And I went to her leadership courses, and then she coached me one-on-one to kind of change my wording, because I had the skills to do it. I just didn't have the vocabulary in my head to do it.
Because you'd been doing one set of things for all these years, and then versus owning.
Yeah, it was taking care of my own business. Taking care of my clients was a breeze. That's what I did. But all of a sudden, it was like, well, I have to do all this for me too.
So 26. Did he start in 2016?
2016, yeah.
26? That was before COVID. So 2020, how did COVID affect your business?
Oh, actually, Habitat closed down, along with all the other businesses. So it gave me a little bit of time to kind of regroup. I still had a few clients that I was doing some stuff with, but I was like, oh, well, what am I going to do going forward now? So now the whole world knew how to work from home. And a lot of people took that opportunity to start their own businesses. And coming from the corporate world, if they're used to having an assistant, it was so much easier for them to step in and say, oh, you'll do 5 hours a month for me? Oh, okay. So basically, I just invoice as many hours as the people do in the month. If they only do 2 hours that month, I might go to them, do you want me to wait till next month and we got another 2 hours, or do you want me to invoice for the 2 hours this month?
Gotcha.
And then some might do 30 hours in that month. So it works out well to have a little bit all over that way.
And then okay, so well, how does it work? I guess I have a business and like I reach out to you online. What happens?
Well, first, we'll set up a Zoom meeting and just have a little conversation, find out what it is you're looking for, find out if we connect, right? Like, because that was the one great thing about starting your own business is you get to choose who you work with and work for, right? I like to say I work with my clients because I'm their right-hand person and I'm there to seamlessly come into their company where people, think, oh, wow, they got their own executive assistant. That's great. Even if it is only for 2 hours a month, right? Doesn't matter. I'm there to help them seamlessly fit in. If I get a feeling that, okay, we're not really connecting here, I don't know how I could work with that person because I work closely with my clients. I know everything about my clients, and I in order to be able to trust each other, you have to at least respect each other or like each other a bit.
The one thing I think it's like, I mean, having an assistant, they kind of have to see your email, right?
I see everything. I do. I see their personal appointments. I help them
Yeah.
a lot of times, even with personal stuff, setting up dentist appointments, setting up this or that, depending on who the client is. So I know everything about them, and I'm sworn to confidentiality.
How does that happen? Like, how do I feel like, okay, cool. So you met me, we gel. Like, how do we, that security trust level?
Well, it's something you build. So I always tell people, like when they're bringing on a virtual assistant, is that, try them out with a few things first. See how that works. Build up the trust. It's like me, I want to kind of, see what their life is a little bit about here first before I jump right in and start doing 20 hours for them. It's a little bit of a trial and an error. Most of my clients come by word of mouth, so that a lot of that trust is already there. I think my history as well, like I started working with lawyers, so I have a little bit of legal background. And I mean, if you look at my career path throughout, I seem like a pretty trusting person as well, I think. Like I've never had any issues in my life, and once people get to know me, they know I'm not. I don't even snoop through people's emails. I read just enough to know what I need to do with that email. I don't have time. I'm there to get their work done, and then I've got a few other clients that I've got to get their work done. So I don't have time to dilly-dally and waste people's money. Time is money. The first lawyer I worked for taught me that. Time is money.
How do you narrow it down though? How do you narrow it down to like, okay, these are the clients I want to work with versus, nah, I'm not doing that. What are the things that help you with making those decisions?
The way they talk to me. If they talk down to me or things like that, or they're very agitated. I don't want to work with agitated people. I mean, we all have our moments, but and sometimes it's just a feeling I get, like something not right here, but if they're really, really pushy, I can't work with really, really pushy people. So.
Okay, then the reverse, because you have a team now, right?
I do. I have a team, and they have to treat my people well as well. And it's when I bring on my virtual assistants, it's actually in there that respect. It's also in my proposals that respect. Respect goes both ways. We have to respect the client, their confidentiality, but they also have to respect us as well. And if I hear that somebody is not treating one of my virtual assistants right, then I set up a meeting with them and I just say, we don't work that way in this company. We're here to help you, and you can't treat us badly.
How do you, with the virtual assistants, what goes into hiring them, like deciding these are the people that are good fit for your team?
Well, I understand what it's like for people to bring on virtual assistants because I have the same issues. Bringing on somebody that has the caliber enough to work with my higher end clients as an executive assistant. So I do a parade. I take care of a 5-day Halifax Celtic Festival every year. I help manage that. And that's a great time to bring on new people. And just so last year I brought on 5 people, and it was great. So I gave them all different chores, but they were all the same, like the same tasks. And I just kind of monitored how quickly someone got it back to me. Was it proofread? You know, how long did it take them? Different things like that. And I was able to weed a couple people out that way. There's a couple people that I might bring back for the parade, the festival again this year, on a casual basis. But yeah, there was some that I was able to eliminate
Thank
completely.
you so much.
But
Okay.
yeah, and I was very honest with them. You know, I'm sorry. It's just your work is not up to the level that we require to service our clients.
Because it's your name that's on that sign now.
Well, it's not only that. It's I started this business to bring, exceptional services to the everyday entrepreneur. Right? It's assistants. Generally, we like to help people. We like to make sure everything is done right for people. This is our nature. You don't become an assistant unless you actually have that. But I did find since COVID, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I could be a virtual assistant. I know how to work Microsoft, or I know I can do this, but they don't understand. There's a lot of things that you learn being an assistant that, to watch out what might happen 2 years down the road by something I create today.
Wow. That's, yeah, right? It's almost like you're planting this seed. It's going to become an oak tree down the road. So,
Yeah.
fuck. Okay, that's a lot of work.
And it is. It's, it's like we try to look out for our clients. It's like, okay, well, you're going to bring on contract. Well, we have to make sure we have a contract, and we have to make sure that they're, not taking your stuff. And do you want to bring this to a lawyer? We can do up a draft, and then you can bring it to the lawyer for them to fine tune it, or just things that I've seen that happened over the years. Right?
Wow.
I was lucky. I started working for lawyers, so that kind of already shaped me by the time I got into being an executive assistant.
Wow. Okay. So someone is checking out this episode and like, I love what Rosanna is doing. I wanna be a virtual assistant or like get into that industry. What are some advice you can share?
Oh, join a lot of the Facebook groups for virtual assistants. You can ask many questions, and there's always senior virtual assistants that'll pop on and answer it. It's a great place to learn. Take some courses. There's a virtual assistant college out west. I can't remember the name of it, but they bring out a lot of good people. But I also suggest that they join some sort of administrative professionals group. There is one in Canada, and you can take courses and learn how to be an executive assistant. There are certain things to learn there. So if it is something, but virtual assistant isn't, what I do is just one area, right? There's virtual assistants that would help with this type of stuff, There's virtual assistants that do social media. There's virtual assistants that do bookkeeping. So there's a lot of, we're not a one size fits all.
Right.
So you also want to make sure that you find the virtual assistant for stuff you need to do.
Right. So like my business was XYZ. I think we can handle this, but this place, it would be great if we can have someone to help us. That's kind of...
And what I suggest people do is I use a program, Toggle, Toggl. It's just you can be a free program, and I time everything I do for every client. I time stuff that I do for myself. It tells me where I need my help. And I tell people, time everything you do for a month and put in everything separate. So I'm doing my social media today. I'm doing my email management. I'm doing this time. After a month, run a report and say, wow, I spent 10 hours that month
Just
doing emails?
Yeah.
Is that really worth my hourly rate? Maybe I need to be assigning that to somebody else and setting up folders that, they can weed through it and say, put something in what's the most important folder.
Wow.
What's the read later, not important for now, or, junk mail.
Holy shit.
So just different things like that, so that when you have 10 minutes to check your emails, you're not wasting all your time. You go right to that important folder first. That's the folder where my money making happens. That's where my clients' clients are in that folder, right?
Right there. Huh. Wow, I mean, you're just opening my eyes to so many things. We've had a chat before, but the more you like get all these wheels turning, all these wheels turning. I usually let my guests go asking his question to bring the show to close. It's a question a friend asked me that got me thinking, and I'm like, what is something that happened before you were 17 that's kind of responsible for Rosanna today?
Well, I've put a little bit of thought into this question, and I guess it's kind of like two things. One is I was born into a military family, so we moved around a lot as I was a child. But as well, I had a lot of health issues throughout my life, and I have a few, health disabilities, which is also a good reason to be a virtual assistant. But between those two things, because we moved around so much, I learned how to network without even knowing I was networking, right? Because every time you move to a new place, you might only be there a year or two. So, you don't want to waste your time being shy. You've got to kind of learn how to open up and make friends, which led me to networking. And the other one, having some health problems and being in and out of the hospital and having surgeries and stuff like that, taught me to live for today. Don't waste my time, because I don't know if there's a tomorrow. I don't know when my tomorrows will end, so I'm going to, that saying, you wake up in the morning, you get to decide what kind of day you're going to have, that's my life. Every day I wake up and say, you know what, today's going to be a great day.
Oh my God. Okay, that is beautiful, Rosanna. Wow, that is, yeah, today's going to be a great day. Oh, man. Okay. You brought some magic to the show today, and I'm going to let you go with magic. So, you can write any number between 1 and 60, and I'm trying to. Oh, wait, I can't see it, but when you've written the number, you can point it to any of the two cameras, and I'm gonna try to use these cards to figure out what your number is. Okay, do we have it? We do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can keep it down. Okay, so it could be any of these cards, but it's gonna be in at least one of these cards.
Yeah.
It could be more than one though.
Yeah.
So I'll need your help. Is it here, your number?
Yes.
Oh wow, okay. I don't like it when he's in the first one. Okay, is it here?
Yes.
Huh. Is it here?
No.
Okay. Is it here?
Yes.
Huh. Here.
No.
No. I'm here?
No.
Okay. So it's in this 3. Oh, I think I know your number. But give me a second. 44.
It is. There's some trick with these cards, isn't there? I know it. There's got to be.
Rosanna, thank you for the amazing work you do, and thank you for coming to the podcast today.
Thank you. It was such a pleasure to be here.
I had a
Thank
wonderful
you.
time.
Thank you, everyone.